Bonjour, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here to race number 15 of Season 7 of the NNSCRA Oreo Truck Series. Just a couple of weeks ago, we ended up heading across the globe to New Zealand for the race at Pukekohe. Well, we are now in France for the running of the Ratatouille 255 here today at Champs Elysees Raceway. Yes, indeed, getting ready for what was a really exciting weekend last year, and we've got this track back on the schedule this year for Season 7. On the pole position, look at who's gotten the pole for this road course race. Jacob Lawler. Now, Lawler is already a two-time winner, and he's also the guy trying to run down Gene Sanford for the points lead. He's right now 23 points out of the top position. Lawler could become the first three-time winner here this season, as he's got himself a prime starting spot on the inside of row number 1. Alongside of him, Dylan Young. Dylan has not gone to victory lane yet this season, and Dylan Young's actually been having a tiny bit of a struggle here so far in Season 7. He's 33rd in the point standings, and we know that Dylan Young has been a chaser, I believe, every year that he's driven with that 84 team, and we're going to have to see how he does here today, as he's trying to get his number 84 from Young Dollarton Motorsports into the chase for the championship. He's got quite a task on his hands to get himself up there. We'll see if he can start here today. Jake Cole starts on the inside of row number 2. Jake Cole, former winner of the season at Coca-Cola Speedway. Jake Cole's been having a bit of a tough season, though, as well. 29th in the point standings. He'd love to be able to pick up a second win, maybe get himself locked into a wild card spot if he doesn't have good weeks in the next few weeks or so leading up to the chase. And alongside of him is going to be Charles Jackson in the 42, an all-target row 2 there, one a Toyota and one a Chevrolet Silverado, but Charles Jackson is 37th in the point stands. However, Charles has a Mobile Cup Series win last week at Darlington. We'll see if maybe momentum from that can help him pick up a road course win here today. Taking a look at the point standings coming into this race, Gene Sanford is the current points leader. As a matter of fact, why don't we get these cars rolling off here? Let them complete a couple of pace laps, and while they let them complete the pace lap, and we'll give you the points, and then we'll give you a couple of drivers to watch as well as you watch the starting grid on the top of your screen. So Gene Sanford, she comes in as the points leader. She is currently, as I said, 23 points ahead of Jacob Lawler, and for some reason we don't have sound of engines. I'm not certain why. Hold on one second. That fixed it. Alright, so as they are rolling off, Gene Sanford, as I said, a total of 23 points ahead of Jacob Lawler. And then right behind Jacob Lawler is Deanna Shelton, been having quite a consistent season. She is currently only 1 point behind Lawler for second place, and she is 24 points out of the top position. Kyle Corbett, who had a bit of a difficult week last week, he dropped from second to fourth in points. He is a total, I believe, of 33 points out of the top position. And then rounding out the top 5 is Kyle Thomas in the 43, or not 43. What ride does Kyle Thomas drive? The 16. And so right now, the Roush Fenway cars are in 4th and 5th in the standings right now. Tanner Sullivan, he lines up 6th. Jamie DeFalu, after his win at Darlington last week, he's 7th. Levi McIntyre, he is in 8th. Dylan Poteet is in 9th, and in 10th is Chris Washer. Let's take a look at a couple of our drivers to watch here today. And one of them is going to be this guy. This guy, Zach Campbell, starting right there in the 5th position for today's race. Now, Zach comes into this race 12th in the point standings. And after he picked up his win at Phoenix earlier this season, things just started to really fall apart for that 24 team. But in the past few weeks now, after the All-Star race, they've been starting to get things put together. He's been doing a lot better. He's worked his way up, and he's looking to get himself inside the top 10 in points here today. One driver we definitely have to keep an eye on. It's our defending race winner of this race. That is Prunes Littlejohn in the 20. Littlejohn, very well-known road course racer. And she'd love to be able to go to victory lane here in her second season with that 20 car. Prunes Littlejohn starting off right behind Harrison Langford there, and that's around the mid-pack area. Final driver who seems to be picking up some spots in the point standings, and he may be a contender inside the top 10 in a few weeks. You never know. Is not the defending champion, but the Season 2 Oreo Truck Series champ, in Jake Rogers. Jake has worked his way up now to the 24th position in points. Now, that may not seem like much, but the fact that he was running where he was at the beginning of the season, it really has shown that he's been able to work his way up through the point standings very quickly, and he's doing a great job. He's got himself in a good position right now as far as consistency is concerned, as he's going to be trying to make the chase for the championship. As we're going to be using this helicopter view off this corner, especially because you can't see them behind the grandstands, but we're getting ready to turn them loose. 18 laps of racing await us. Green flag is out here in the Ratatouille 255. And this is a very tight corner for all these drivers. We see them sometimes try and go 3 wide. Everyone seems to be good so far, and I think they all did make it through that first corner. Already there's some heavy racing going on back there. Levi McIntyre, Tanner Sullivan, and Isaac Canepa, 3 rookies, battling it out hard there, as Canepa's going to lose a couple of spots after making that move. As up front here, Jake Cole's been able to get around Dylan Young for second. Dylan Young now fighting tooth and nail with Charles Jackson for third, as that was the Zach Campbell car right there, nearly losing it. Quite a save by the 24, as here's Haruhi Tashimi, Jimmy Bly, they're going 3 wide with the 24. And a couple of front runners in the points right behind them there. 78 of Jamie DeFelu, the 94 of Deanna Shelton. Oh, 4 wide there with the 24. Look out. 18 of Tanner Sullivan's back here. He's in the top 10 in points. As we'll jump to our helicopter view. I don't know if you guys can hear me over the helicopter blades. Whoa! Deanna Shelton turns around there after contact between Levi McIntyre and Haruhi Tashimi. Kyle Corbett got held up behind it too. And everybody's going to get through. Gene Sanford's way back here. So is Matthew Daly, and Luis Hernandez coming to pit road. Caution flag is out for the first time today here at Champs Elysees. We may have actually had an incident happen before. That incident with Deanna Shelton there in the final corner. It looks like Alex DeMarco's moved up to second now behind fellow Toyota Jacob Lawler. Then it's going to be Jake Cole third, Dylan Young fourth, and Charles Jackson fifth. 4 of the top 5 right now, all Toyota Tundras. Jimmy Bly is in 6th, Tanner Sullivan 7th, Levi McIntyre is now in 8th. But we know he got a little piece of that incident with Deanna Shelton. You got William Duncan and Haruhi Tashimi, who also got a piece of that incident. They're the top 10. As we're going to jump back and now take a look at a replay of what happened. Jacob Lawler leads the way here under our first caution at Champs Elysees. I don't know if the caution came out for this or if it came out for the Deanna Shelton incident later on. But here's the contact involving points leader Gene Sanford and Matthew Daly, 18th in the points. Daly just appears to have turned Gene down into the wall. She comes back up, gets hooked again, and there's Luis Hernandez. Oh, man, that's a hard hit for the 88. Luis had nowhere to go, and that was a hard hit. The whole hood of that car just completely folded up. But Gene Sanford, we know Jacob Lawler is leading this race. And for Gene Sanford to get involved in an incident here, that's not exactly what she needed here. As Lawler may be able to capitalize, take the points lead back away from Gene Sanford. And we also know that the 94 of Deanna Shelton, third in the points. So another driver that Lawler is trying to get away from. Let's see what happens here. This was coming down to the final corner, and they just started backing into each other here. They were literally shoving each other into the corner there. You got Jimmy Bly getting pushed by Levi McIntyre, Shelton pushing McIntyre, and Sullivan was in the back of Shelton. Jamie DeFelu gets held up there, our winner last week. He got a little piece of the wall there. There's Corbett. He gets spun around into DeFelu, off the nose of Jake Rogers. Isaac Canepa going to get a little piece of this too. And Corbett's going to turn the 94 back around. Ooh, Galligan and Andreas Allen come in there full speed, as well as teammates there in McLeod, Silver Fox. There's Joshua Michaels, Brad Smith, Dylan Poteet, but everybody appears to get through. Kyle Matthews got held up there. So did Kyle Thomas, 5th in points, and Chris Dollarton, as well as Cody Lamas, Jake Rogers, and Danny Wells. They all got held up there by those drivers trying to get themselves going again. Not a whole lot of contact or a whole lot of damage there, I don't think. Look at the 94 coming out of this corner. A little bit of hood damage, but not really anything that fatal. I think that we'd be more well advised to check out the 27, 23, and 88 as far as whether they're going to be able to continue or not, because they're the ones that took the rather hard hits there. So we're under the caution for the first time today. Let's head back now for the restart, as we've had 2 incidents here on the first lap of today's event. Well, this is not live. This happened during the replays that we were showing you, as everybody decided to come down and make pit stops. So we're just going to show you the pit stops to see what strategies played out here before we go back to the restart. Looks like it's only going to be a fuel-only stop for the 09. He is down and away. Jacob Lawler is done. Jake Cole's going to come out second. Then Jimmy Bly and William Duncan. So it looks like Alex DeMarco, Dylan Young, and others are going to lose a lot of spots on pit road as Jacob Lawler, his team, gets him out first. And he will be the leader under a restart, which we will head to now. Getting ready to go to green flag racing here as the field comes out of turn 4. Or not turn 4, but the final corner. This track has more than 4 turns, let me tell you. Top 5 as we go back to green are Lawler, Jake Cole, Jimmy Bly, Dylan Young, and William Duncan. Flagman's ready. Green flag is back out. Looking back there, only one driver has gone behind the wall, and that is Luis Hernandez. Everybody else involved in those 2 incidents on the first lap, they have all continued on, damaged or otherwise, as Jimmy Bly made very short work of second place. He's going to go to it, bypassing Jake Cole. Kind of interesting here. Jimmy Bly and Jamie DeFelu, they had that whole big skirmish back during the Oreo Open, back at M&M Super Speedway. They didn't really get up and get an opportunity to race with each other last week at Darlington, and now they're not really around each other here today at Champs Elysees. Jimmy Bly running up here in the 2nd position. Let's see where DeFelu's running right now. DeFelu is back in 35th, so I don't think you're going to see these guys wreck it up with each other again. We've been rather fortunate in that regard. And I see back there the points lead, the points leader coming into this race, Jean Samper. She's back in the 41st position right now, along with Chris Washer, 10th in points, Kyle Thomas, 5th in points. Not exactly what these guys needed, as they're trying to get themselves some spots up there towards the front. I think that they're going to come back out from behind these grandstands in just a moment. Oh, I see the flagman with a caution flag in his hand, and I see Jimmy Bly going by Jacob Lawler for the lead here under the 2nd caution of the day, and I think he beat Lawler at the line. He did, officially. The 3 car is the leader of this race now. So Jimmy Bly must have made a move on him there in that final corner, and he pulled it off. A lot of times we see drivers have to get out of the throttle a little bit more than the driver on the outside, and the driver on the outside is able to swing by and get the driver on the inside at the line. Jimmy Bly, though, made the inside line work. Let's see what the caution came out for. Oh, Trent Dunham, the defending champ, and Prunes Littlejohn, the defending race winner of this event. Both of them involved. Looks like Dylan Poteet got some damage in whatever this was as well. Levi McIntyre is also on pit road. Our winner from Thornton, and 8th in points. Poteet's 9th in points, and boy, this track's picking its victims, isn't it? Jimmy Bly is a leader under the caution here on lap 5. Let's jump back, take a look at a replay of what happened. And here it was, same place where we had the Gene Samper, Matthew Daly, Luis Hernandez incident, almost kind of mirroring that. You see Joshua Michaels going to get into Prudence Littlejohn, turns her down to the safer barrier, and again, Littlejohn just can't hang on to it. She slides up, she's going to collect Dylan Poteet. Poteet had absolutely nothing to do with it, but there was nowhere for him to be able to go. 20 just comes up and collects him. Michaels actually was able to escape the scene of the crime, so to speak. And, oh, Levi McIntyre, nowhere to go. I mean, what do you do when you got a car spinning like a top in front of you? You got to try and figure out where that 31's not going to be. Andreas Allen going to get a little piece of it, and I think Jake Rogers, oh, yeah, he sideswipes the 00 there. So he's going to go spinning around, and then, oh, Chris Dalton gets a piece of it. And then watch up there, Trent Dunham. He avoids the 91, but I don't think he's going to be as lucky to avoid up here. Oh, Kyle Matthews got a piece of this too. We'll see how the 62 got involved, as head-on into the 22 goes the 1, and both those drivers' cars erupt in smoke. Their days very likely are over. Let's see how Kyle Matthews was collected. Oh, yeah, he ended up going underneath Andreas Allen. Might get a little help from Danny Wells, I don't know. But they're trying to avoid the 22, and yep. And then a little tap there from Danny, and Danny, wow, going through the swinging door there, so to speak, of the 22, Oh, and then Sean Galligan got a piece of his teammate right there, too. 11th in points, Sean Galligan, by the way. He got some damage from that. And there's Jamie DeFalu slicing and dicing, cutting his way through and picking up spots. Nice job there. But that's quite a few drivers inside the top 10 in points involved in this one. McIntyre's 8th in points, Poteet 9th in points, and then you got Sean Galligan and Kyle Matthews. Those two are 11th and 13th in points, getting pieces of this incident as well. But we're under the caution for the second time today. There you see Little John. She's also smoking. She's coming to pit road. Tough break for her. She's 19th in points. She had an opportunity for a good run today and a chance to maybe move herself up inside the top 15 in points, but the caution is out. And we're under the yellow once more. Let's see if they're going to make any pit stops here under our second caution. Green flag will come back out here on lap 7 of 18. Jimmy Bly, Jacob Lawler, Dylan Young, Tanner Sullivan, and Jake Cole. That is the top 5 as we go back to green flag racing here at Champs Elysees. We've worked 2 caution flags, and it has claimed a number of drivers. Prudence Littlejohn, Levi McIntyre, Trent Dunham, and Luis Hernandez. Those 4 are now officially out of today's event. Drivers going to take the hardest hit in points. It's obviously going to be Levi McIntyre, who came in 8th in the point standings. And a DNF here today is not what he needed. Jimmy Bly, he gets away very quickly. Dylan Young moves into second. Tanner Sullivan bypassing his Joe Gibbs Racing teammate for third. Look at the Toyota power up here. Second, third, fourth, fifth. Well, no, not fifth. Charles Jackson's actually in fifth in a Chevy Silverado. I saw the target colors. Thought it was Jake Cole. So second, third, and fourth. Look back here. Look at a couple of these drivers who are still sticking in it. William Duncan in the 21 having a great run here today. Duncan's 38th in points. Well-needed run for him here today. Right there alongside of him, Isaac Canepa in the 8th position in that 14. Canepa did not take the green flag to start the season at Daytona, but he is up in the 23rd position right now. And don't forget, he's a former winner in the Mobile One Cup Series. He's side by side there with William Duncan. Zach Campbell having a great run right now as he's trying to work his way back inside the top 10. And how about Sam McMillan? Nice run for him. Whoa! LaPlante! Save it, LaPlante! Oh, he didn't! Oh, man. Bounces off Bob Jones. And he's going to collect Sam McMillan there in that final corner. Whoa! Sideswipe by Joshua Michaels. And is that enough to warrant a caution? Flagman does have the yellow flag in hand. We are under the yellow flag. Austin LaPlante nearly had that saved. Man. So the caution flag is out. There's Kyle Matthews back here. I think all these drivers got through there. I think this caution only came out for the Austin LaPlante spin in the final corner. So let's jump back real quickly, take a look at it in slow motion, and see what exactly happened. Well, look at this. Everybody wanted to go to the inside in this corner, and they almost went 4 wide there. Bob Jones, I think, was the one that made a little bit of contact with the 48. LaPlante goes up, bounces off the 33, then comes down, bounces off the 11 again, and just couldn't hang on to it then. Slides up into Sam McMillan, and the two of them going to get caught there in that final corner. That's a tough break for LaPlante there. I mean, he's not going to have a lot of damage, I don't think, but he comes in 15th in points. This is a big opportunity for him to maybe work his way up inside the top 10 in points here after today's race. And LaPlante, he's going to lose some valuable track position and some valuable spots because of the fact that the start-finish line is a ways ahead there, and drivers are passing him right and left. And Sam McMillan, tough break for him too. He was trying to crack the top 10 here in his very first race at Champs Elysees, and he gets collected there innocently. But that's just how it is here at this track. A lot of drivers fight for real estate. Sometimes there's not enough room, and that was nearly a perfect save by Austin LaPlante. We nearly didn't have that caution come out, but it did come out, and we're under the yellow for the 3rd time today. Let's head back now for yet another restart. We'll go back to green flag racing again, this time on lap 10 of 18. Top 10 as we go back to green are Jimmy Bly, Tanner Sullivan, Jacob Lawler, Charles Jackson, Isaac Canepa. Then it's Jake Cole, Dylan Young, William Duncan, Zach Campbell, and Bob Jones. That is the top 10. Look at the Joe Gibbs cars up here. 2nd, 3rd, and 10th for this restart. And Tanner Sullivan, one of them wants to go right to the lead. Here he comes to the inside. Can Tanner Sullivan, our winner from Daytona, pick up his 2nd win of the season here at Champs Elysees? He has cleared Jimmy Bly, moved to the 18 to position number 1. Battle on there for 2nd. Charles Jackson moving underneath of Jimmy Bly. Jimmy Bly getting the misadvantage of getting caught in the high side in that first corner, so now he's back here battling for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, as Tanner Sullivan is appearing to scamper away. Sullivan has got himself about maybe 3 car lengths, maybe even 4 car lengths over that battle for second. Jimmy Bly not willing to give it to Charles Jackson. He's going to keep the position as he was able to get that outside line to work. Well, it's actually the outside line in some corners, the inside line in other corners. Whatever the case, he made it work. And now he's starting to try and run back down the Tanner Sullivan machine. We'll jump to our helicopter camera. So they're going to go back behind that grandstand there. You see it about 2 car lengths, now almost 1.5. The advantage between Tanner Sullivan and Jimmy Bly. Let's see what they do coming into this corner. Ooh, they got a little congested, but Jimmy Bly and Charles Jackson appear to have made up a little bit of ground on the 18th through that corner. And I don't think the flagman had a caution flag in his hand. No, pace car still sits on pit road. We are going to be under a green flag run for a while, perhaps. Let's jump back here towards the back, see if there are any other names that we haven't mentioned. Wow, look here. Harrison Langford in the 70. Up in the 9th position right now. Great run for that driver. Haven't talked about him all day, and he's having an excellent run. 35th in the point standings. He's doing really well, and here's another driver that needs a good run. James Silverfox for Turner Scott Motorsports. Silverfox comes into this race 42nd in the standings. And don't forget, his Mold 1 Cup Series win this season came at an international road course of Pukekohe. So he's good at the international road courses apparently, and he's right now trying to fight for a spot inside the top 10 in the running order. Brad Smith, good run right there for the 75 car. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he made his debut in the Truck Series back at Infineon, so he knows how to race at road courses. Limited experience, but that was where he made his debut race. Zach Rogers, great run right there for the 15, 28th in points. And there's Alex DeMarco, a slow pit stop. Ended up pushing him way back here in the 13th position, but still having a good run as Bob Jones is heading for pit road. This may be scheduled green flag stops. These drivers last pitted back, I believe it was on lap 3. And Austin LaPlante is going to come to pit road as well. So Bob Jones is going to roll the dice. He gives up 16th position to come down and pit here. And I believe we're still under green. Oh, no, the caution is out. Interesting strategy. The 11 coming down pit road with the caution coming out. And I'm wondering who the caution's for. I don't think it was for Austin LaPlante. I think he's making a regularly scheduled stop. Jake Rogers and Kyle Matthews are both back here. Might have been the 91. And these drivers are not backing down. I think they're going to race it back to the line again. So Tanner Sullivan leading. His teammate Bob Jones came to pit road. Jimmy Bly's in 2nd, Jackson in 3rd. Isaac Canepa's in 4th, and Jacob Lawler now is in 5th. His top 5 have all kind of spread away from each other. At least 4th place has got a huge gap back to 5th. And here's Jimmy Bly. He wants to lead under yet another caution segment. He's trying to run down Tanner Sullivan here. And look at this. He's looking like he's going to go to the inside. He's taking a peek perhaps here. Let's see. Ooh, the bump and run on the 18, but it doesn't look like he got to the inside of him. Tanner's going to hang on to it. And Tanner Sullivan's going to lead us under yet another caution flag. As Jimmy Bly will cross in 2nd, Jackson 3rd, Canepa 4th, and Lawler in 5th. And did I hear another driver coming off pit road? No, I guess not. So the pace car comes off pit road. I'm not really sure what this caution came out for. What I do know is that Bob Jones and Austin LaPlante both got out, and they're still on the lead lap, I think. I think they are. I think they are still on the lead lap after beating those other drivers coming off pit road. So if these other drivers have to pit under caution, those guys could cycle up to the front. You never know. We've got about 5 laps to go when we hit the stripe. Let's take a look at a replay of what put us under this caution flag, and then we'll come back quickly and see if these drivers are going to make pit stops under caution. Well, take a look on the right side of your screen. There is Bob Jones coming to pit road, and I believe he's going to cross the commitment line before this incident happens, so he's got to commit to pit road and make a pit stop. This incident, though, is going to involve the 15 of Zach Rogers and the 13 of Alex DeMarco, both battling for what I believe at the time was the 14th position. There you see DeMarco just kind of dumps Zach Rogers. I'm not really sure what that was all about. That's a tough break for Zach Rogers because he was running really well right there, and he just got turned around by the 13 machine. He is able to continue, does have some damage on the front grille and the nose of that machine, but as you can see, everybody going on by him. He lost valuable positions. He was, as I said, in the 14th position. I think he crosses the line somewhere around the 33rd position, perhaps. Let's see where they score. Well, let's not forget. Yeah, he crosses 28th right there, but don't forget they had to race around one more time before they got the caution flag, so he probably lost some spots under that lap as well. But a tough break there for Zach Rogers. Was running up inside the top 15 and gets spun around by the Alex DeMarco car. So caution flag came out for that. Bob Jones had already crossed the commitment line before that incident happened, and Austin LaPlante had already come onto the entrance of pit road before that incident. So both those drivers had to make pit stops there, and they were not penalized either because they had committed themselves to pit road before that yellow flag came out. So we'll see how that worked out for them. Let's head back now, see if pit stops take place here with less than 5 to go. Interesting strategy going on here. Tanner Sullivan gives up the lead to come down pit road. Also Isaac Canepa comes. So does Jake Cole, Zach Campbell, Harrison Langford, Brad Smith. There's Kyle Corbett, Eric Burton, Jamie DeFelu, last week's winner. They're all coming down pit road, but a number of drivers decided not to pit. And one of them was Jimmy Bly, who has now inherited the lead. Charles Jackson has moved into second place now. So I don't know where Tanner Sullivan's going to come out in the scheme of all this, but I do know that Jimmy Bly has not committed to pit road. Jackson has not either. He is in second. Lawler third, Duncan fourth, and DeMarco now after that incident with Zach Rogers. He is now up to fifth. Leo Walker is now in sixth. Dylan Young seventh. Jackie Tang's now moved up to eighth. Ninth is James McLeod, and Gene Sanford, the points leader, is now up inside the top 10. That's not what Jacob Lawler wanted to hear. Lights are out atop the pace car. We will go green next time by. And we will have a total of 4 laps to go here at Champs Elysees. Now it looked like Tanner Sullivan and company that came down pit road under the caution flag this lap, they only went with a fuel-only stop. Now I don't know if that's because they don't know if they can make it to the end, or if they know for a fact they can't make it to the end, and these drivers that stayed out are trying to see if they can stretch it. Look here at where they're running the point standings and see what they have to lose. Jimmy Bly, the leader, he is 36th in the point standings. He could really use a win, so maybe he's thinking about gambling. Charles Jackson, 37th in points. Maybe thinking the same thing, but if you're Jacob Lawler, you're trying to run down Gene Sanford for the points lead. I think the reason he'd be staying out is because Gene Sanford is back in the 10th position. He doesn't want to give up the valuable track position to Gene Sanford by committing to pit road. He's got to try and risk it in the fact that he has to keep ahead of Gene Sanford in order to chip into her points lead. He's also a 2-time winner, so he may be able to use that to fall back on. William Duncan, 38th in points. He's staying out. I mean, what's he got to lose? He could try and go for a win. Behind him in the 5th position, though, you've got the Alex DeMarco machine. Now, DeMarco's 17th in points. He could either get a good finish and move himself up inside the top 15, or he could run out of fuel and fall inside the top 20. So I guess it's a kind of an ultimate risk reward for the 13. And right behind him is Leah Walker in the 99. She comes into this race 27th in points. Oh, but wait a minute. It looks like we got some drivers coming to pit road. Duncan, Lawler, Charles Jackson, Leah Walker, they're coming to pit road, and so is Jimmy Bly. And that will cycle the lead over to Alex DeMarco, as it looks like those leaders, I'm not certain why they're coming to pit road now when they could have come to pit road a lap later, or a lap earlier, but they're coming now, and this is going to shake everything up. Gene Sanford, the points leader, is coming to pit road as well. So is Deanna Shelton and Dylan Poteet, and I think I saw Sean Galligan duck on the pit road as well. Green flag is back out here with 4 laps to go. And Dylan Young's going to go to the bottom. He's going to go to the inside on Alex DeMarco looking for the top spot. Jackie Tang, James McLeod, and look there, Austin LaPlante and Bob Jones. Those 2 drivers who made those pit stops, they're now up to the 5th and 6th positions. And Dylan Young, he has cleared Alex DeMarco. Move the 84 to the lead. Can Dylan Young for Young Darlington Motorsports maybe go to victory lane for the first time this season here at the road course of Champs Elysees? He's got rookie Jackie Tang all over his back bumper. Drivers we haven't talked about at all today. Jackie Tang in the 98, James McLeod in the 30. All of a sudden they're making their presence felt. And don't forget, James McLeod, very good road course racer. He had a win at Lime Rock last year. He had a win at Thornton the year before that. Or no, actually, I think both those wins came last year. 2 road course wins. And he's up here in the hunt now, side by side for the lead. Rookie Jackie Tang actually is going to clear Dylan Young. And is anybody coming to pit road? Yes, they are. Here comes the 98, the 84, the 30, the 13. The lead cycles over to, you guessed it, Bob Jones, and his pit strategy moves him to the front. LaPlante now in a tussle there with Tanner Sullivan. That's for second. And the caution flag's out. Caution flag waves. It was just before the leader hit pit road. Or not hit pit road, but across the stripe. And so we will be under the caution this time. We may get back to green for a one-lap shootout. I don't know. Bob Jones is the leader. Sullivan, his teammate, is now in second. LaPlante third. Canepa fourth. And look at Jake Rogers. He's up to 5th place now. And this may be good news for those drivers that had to pit coming down to the green flag, and those drivers who just pitted under this lap, because now this may bunch everybody back up, and if we do get back to green, it's an opportunity for them to maybe be able to pick up some spots here. But Bob Jones, Tanner Sullivan, those guys pitted back, I think it was on lap 13 or so. I think they're good to go on fuel, so it may not work out in the best interest of those drivers who had to pit a couple of laps ago and on this last lap. So caution flag is out. It's all Joe Gibbs 1-2 running right now in Bob Jones and Tanner Sullivan. Let's jump back, take a look at the replay of what the caution actually came out for. It was under the caution what could be the final time today here at Champs Elysees. Well, this one's got to be a heartbreak here. I mean, Charles Jackson was running up inside the top 5 all day long, and he's going to get a little shove there from Leia Walker in the 99, and Jackson's going to hit hard into the wall. Now he's going to go up and he's going to get the outside wall there. Oh, man, that is a tough break. Charles had a strong truck today. Never fell outside the top 10 until he ended up having to make the pit stop there under the green flag. But, man, that is a tough break for him. Leia Walker getting damaged as well. Jackson was running in the 9th position at the time. Of course, he had made a pit stop just then. But that is a tough break for Charles. He was really looking good as he was trying to pick up his first Truck Series win of the season, but it looks like it's not going to happen. He's going to leave today with a damaged truck, a truck that he had kept clean for this entire race. And, oh, man, didn't know if he was going to come in front of the Deanna Shelton car or not, but that's what put us under the caution for what could be the final time today. One of our strongest trucks of the day involved here in the caution. Well, if you will look in the lower left-hand corner of your screen, you will see we are on the white flag lap. It was just displayed moments ago for the FedEx Ground Toyota Tundra of Bob Jones. Now, Bob Jones still has to make it around to the checkered flag, but if he does, Bob Jones, 14th in the point standings, will pick up the win here in the Truck Series. It'll be his 2nd career Truck Series victory and his first here of Season 7. Bob Jones, a winner over in the Snickers Cup Series. He's battling for the championship over there. He may be trying to battle for the championship here in Season 7 in the Truck Series as well. And he's actually seeming to be able to get some good momentum over in Mobile Cup Series competition too. He may be looking for a trifecta as far as the championships he's battling for. Looks like he is going to win today. And it will be a Joe Gibbs Racing 1-2 finish with Tanner Sullivan, his rookie teammate and our winner from Daytona, right behind him there. In the 2nd position, Tanner Sullivan 6th in the point standings. This will be a great run for him. It'll keep him inside the top 10 in points, and he may be joined by his teammate Bob Jones with the victory here today. How about Austin LaPlante? Talk about turning around a bad situation for your good. LaPlante, remember, ended up getting spun around by Bob Jones, I believe it was, in that final corner, bringing out what I think at the time was our 2nd caution of the day. He came down, made a pit stop when Bob Jones did, and he's going to come away with a solid top 5 run in the 3rd position. He was 15th in points coming into this race too, so this could be huge for him maybe to move inside the top 10 in points. Isaac Canepa moved his way up to 23rd in points. He'll move up even higher in the standings. He'll finish in 4th. And how about Jake Rogers, the Season 2 Truck Series champ? A great run for him in the 5th position here today. But Bob Jones gets ready to lead him out of that final corner, and he's going to go to victory lane here in Season 7. 2nd straight year that a Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota Tundra will go to victory lane. Little John did it last year. Bob Jones will do it this year as they come down here to the checkered flag. Bob Jones is going to pick up the win here in the Ratatouille 255 at Champs Elysees Raceway. And Joe Gibbs Racing gets a 1-2 finish. Give you the rest of the top 10 from today's event. Zach Campbell, nice run for him. He'll move inside the top 10 in points, I'm sure, with a 6th place run today. Harrison Langford, great run for that rookie in 7th. In 8th place was Jake Cole. Brad Smith in 9th. And how about Danny Wells? We saw him a lot of times during the replays, picking his way through damaged trucks and race cars there. And he's going to finish with a top 10 today in the 10th position. Came in 16th in the point standings. So 14th through 16th in points. Bob Jones, Austin LaPlante, Danny Wells all leaving with top 10 runs today. They could move themselves up inside the top 10 in points today with the bad luck that we saw drivers such as Levi McIntyre, Dylan Pote, and Chris Washer have during the course of this race. Let's find out where the points leader, Jean Sanford, officially finished today's event. She finished in the 34th position. The driver trying to run her down for the points lead, Jacob Lawler, didn't finish much better, though. He finished in 32nd. And third in points, Deanna Shelton. I saw her just a moment ago. Where is she? There she is. She finished in 35th position. Kyle Corbett, where did he finish? 14th today. Nice run for him. And Kyle Thomas in the 16. Where did he finish? 13th place. So the two Roush Fenway cars finished well today in 13th and 14th place. Now they came in to this event 33 and 43 points out of the top position. So I don't think they've taken the points lead over from Jean Sanford. I think she still will hang on to it. But it is going to be close, I think, between Jacob Lawler, Deanna Shelton, Kyle Corbett, and Kyle Thomas. And then maybe throw Tanner Sullivan into the pot as well with his 2nd place run here today. It could be close from 2nd on down through 6th behind, who I believe will still be the points leader, Jean Sanford. But what a great race here today, and pit strategy comes into play. Bob Jones going to pick up the win here, his first win of Season 7 in the Truck Series, his 2nd career Truck Series win, and I believe it is his 4th career NSCRA victory of his overall career. So a great run for him. He'll certainly be a driver to watch in the Mobile and Snickers Cup Series events, especially Snickers, where he's been in that tussle with Noah Hart and Danny Wells and Ian Dutta. But this race is over from Champs Elysees. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for sticking around. Bit of a caution-filled event, but a great finish at the end nonetheless. So if you guys enjoyed today's race, be sure to give this video a like. Subscribe to become part of the crew today. Here comes your official finishing results. Overall point stands and rookie points heading into next week's races. We are not going to be leaving Europe just yet. We are actually going to be heading over to the UK for our 16th race weekend at Rockingham, UK. So I hope you'll be tuning in for that. Sure to be a good one. We still got to finish up our race weekend here from Champs Elysees, though, with Mobile and Snickers Cup Series racing. As the pace car is going to cut Bob Jones off there. Okay. But we will see you guys next time here on the NSCRA Sports Channel. Offline racing at its best. Goodbye, everybody.